Dambi is, I mean, he's so good at duelist. He's killing everyone. So like, a lot of Korean fans really, wanted to watch Paper X versus Nongshim. How they prepare also, and the attitude when they're playing at the stage is like awesome.
What was it like coming to work for me? All right, welcome everybody. I have a very special podcast guest today. It is my former player and current idol. It's Yoman, the coach of Nongshim RedForce, Masters champion from Masters Santiago. We're going to talk about coaching. We're going to talk about playing. We're going to talk about tier 2, tier 1, all sorts of stuff. So first of all, I just have to say, congratulations. I'm incredibly happy to see you on stage having a good time after what we went through last year. And I'm really excited to hear your thoughts on what it's been like to be a coach. So first of all, how are you, Yoman, Mr. Youngmoon? How's life?
Hi guys. I'm Yoman, and nice to see you guys. And I'm doing good right now. Just chilling in my vacation times.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good question. So Pacific starts in what, like 2.5 weeks, something like that?
No, 1.5 weeks.
1.5. Oh shit. Okay, yeah. So you're right back at it. So when's your vacation over? When do you start scrimming again?
Maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah,
so not much vacation then. All right. Good. Okay. Before we get into the more exciting stuff, the Masters Santiago and the Nongshim stuff, I just want to hear a little bit from you about sort of your esports journey. Because I think it's been a pretty interesting path for you. So like, how did you get into Valorant, and like when did you start, and like where'd you kind of come from?
I started like some kind of accident, maybe whatever. Like I was just player. Like I was just a ranked player in my college times. I mean, when I was a university student, like I just do for my hobby for playing Valorant. So, but at the time, we all Koreans like played Korean server, not the Apex servers, and I was like my rank was kind of high, like peak 1 or something. So like I felt like, what should I do after like graduating my university? And I felt like I don't want to be like businessman, so I just challenged as a player. That's all.
So what was your major, or what was your degree in university?
Exactly. It was like game engineering, but like it's
Okay.
based on like computer engineering. That's it.
Okay, wow. Yeah, so I think you might have a little bit of a different career trajectory than a lot of people, because you've already been to university, you've gotten a degree, you've also done military service. So you've done like the whole, like what you're supposed to do as a Korean, and then you've gone and become a pro gamer afterwards, right?
Yeah, it was too late maybe. I thought so much many steps.
So you finish university, you finish military service, you get into Valorant, trying to play pro. What is that like? Like how do you climb the Korean scene? Like how do you get your first sort of team? How do you kind of make your way through to the point where you're getting signed by GenG and playing in the VCT?
It's kind of long like story, so I'll try to make it simple. So
Yeah, as much as you want to talk about it, it's all good.
like many players try to challenge at the tier 2, right? And I was also playing like that, so I just tried to find the team, and I just challenged at the tier 2, and that's the first thing that which I did. And at that time, like we had not that bad results, so like and so after I finished the tier 2, I'm in the league at 2023. I went to China. Like
What team were you on in tier 2, first of all?
my team was Shadow Corporation. Like
Okay, that's your agency, right?
yeah, that's my agency, and our team was like everyone was in at the same agency. So
Right. And
yeah,
you actually play with Udaton at that point, right?
yeah,
Udaton,
Yudo,
Stu.
Stu, and like the other like Wolverine Banger, who's still playing at the tier 2 challengers. I mean, in Korea and Japan also, and they were also like amazing players. So we had like not that bad not that bad results. So, and after we finished the challengers, and me and Stu and my coach, like file analysis, we went
Hmm.
to China
Hmm.
in Rare Atom, and at that time also not that bad. Like we had the second grade, like fourth, but I failed Ascension, and I come back. I came back to Korea tier two, and that was the Nongshim as a player in 2024. And at that time, I also failed to go to Ascension at the Challengers Korea, losing to like current Nongshim players. I mean,
Yeah, so I actually wanted to stop you there for a second. So like
yeah,
you went to China, you made it to the grand finals of Ascension on Rare
yeah.
Atom, right? And you played against DRG. Um, what was losing Ascension like? Like what was playing in China like, and what was losing Ascension like?
Like we all felt like we kind of did some nice job as like kind of new team, when we were in Rare Atom, and you know our language was different. There's a player that who cannot understand English perfectly, and my Chinese was even not that good to like comment the players, or like do something IGL things, but
Right, and you
we
were
we
you were
kind of
IGLing the team, right? So
yeah.
yeah.
But whatever, like we kind of have some not bad result. Like we are like at the second grade in China, like one step below the EDG,
Yeah.
and we felt like, oh yeah, we're doing pretty good. But whatever, like we failed to get the franchise in China, and we need to win this session, but we lose it at the grand finals, and that feels like, where's my 1 year? Like where's my like my one years are gone. Like
Hmm.
we kind of fucked hard, and was so like kind of sorrowful things.
Yeah, definitely depressing. Did you have more offers for Chinese teams after that? Like, I would assume that getting tier two or like getting number two in Ascension, you would have like some prospects as an IGL, right? Like that's a pretty good result. So, did you have opportunities to go tier one after that?
No,
Really?
to
Wow,
be honest, yeah.
that's crazy. Um, so what did you do next then?
So I went to tier two Korean teams, like
Mm,
I mean the former Nongshim RedForce at 2024,
hmm.
and like at the split one we get the third grade, and split two, I mean the important league that I mean the opportunity we can get to go to Ascension was split two, and I got the second grade also. Like by
To this,
losing,
and this was Simprissa, right? Simprissa Gaming.
yes, in person. Current, no.
Yeah.
So,
Unlucky, man. Unlucky.
uh,
Okay, so then after that, you're just kind of in off season, right? And you get a call from GenG, or does your agency set it up? Like, how did you end up playing with GenG for 2025 to start?
and like ending at 2024, like GenG was like kind of tryouting like lots of players, and I also tried it, and at the time maybe my performance was that I mean not that best, so I went to GenG after like finishing tier two. I mean losing after to Simprisa, and I went to GenG. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, how was that transition for you? Because obviously you've been in IGL for like your entire career, right? And
Yeah.
and now you're playing with like the IGL in Korea, which is Munchkin. So what was that like, having to give up leading the team and working with Munchkin and working with some of these big names like with Meteor, Charon, stuff like that?
But, like exactly, I didn't play with Meteor. Like he went to T1 after like when I joined to Gen G.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, my bad. My
And
bad.
whatever, like it's okay. Whatever, like, and with the feeling that like I forget up to leading the teams, and I just want to be a like normal player, and I knew that it will struggle a lot when
Mhm.
I joined before Gen G, but for me, every player like try to challenge or something. So for me, like, my mindset was like, okay, let me just challenge it. So, but it's still it still struggled a lot, and maybe yeah. And the ending was not that good for me.
Gotcha. And that's right. So Foxy 9 was your Sentinel, not Meteor, and then you were the recon player, right? And then eventually they replace you with Ash. And is that correct?
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think anybody who's been a player and been in IGL would know that it's always tough to like be led by somebody else. So I'm not surprised that there was probably it was difficult to play under somebody else's system. But if you had to sort of like say one or two things that you specifically learned from playing with Munchkin and playing with texture, like what would you say you like learned the most from those guys?
The most thing, like I kind of, I'll say like I learned a lot. I mean, tons of things to both players. Like they just inspire me so a lot when like as a player.
Hmm.
But if you ask me, like kind of most thing is will be like comms,
Bombs.
maybe
Okay.
comms. What should I say? It's so hard to describe as for English, but whatever. I mean, they inspire me a lot.
Okay.
Everyone in GenG. Like,
Cool. How is like solo as a coach and HSK, and would you say that your current job as a coach is like a little bit modeled off of some of the things that you learned from your coaches in
of
GenG?
course, like they also like help me a lot to to make me adapt to the team, and like to be like as a strategy coach or like or a mentor coach, whatever. They try to help me a lot, and one of the things like like there's in Korean there's like kind of some I mean word difference to say to your boss or do you remember 존댓말, Donnie?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How can I say it in English? Like,
Chungdemal is it's the like the politeness that you speak to people at different hierarchy. Is that
y-
correct?
yeah, maybe that's right. Maybe that's right.
Yeah.
But
So
whatever,
like
like,
different levels of respect to different people at different parts of an
yeah,
organization
exactly.
or business. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Like, and I mean, in Korea, in like when you join an organization, I mean, like there's a structure like as some I mean, some culture structure to be respectful to my like
Mhm.
my boss and like to my higher grade, like my something like what should I say? My English vocab is so shit, so I cannot describe that
No,
exactly. But
it's good.
whatever.
I understand what you're saying. Like the
Y-
the the way that you have to relate to these people is different than when you were the IGL and when you were kind of like the top of the team, right? And so you had to kind of like learn how to interact with different people at different levels. Would you say?
Uh, Not exactly. The thing that I want to talk about is like, if if you are Korean, like it's kind of have a relation. I mean, some close relationship with your like coaches or like some or your bosses or whatever. Like the other players that who's like kind of your boss. Did I describe right?
Sure.
Okay,
I
so
yeah.
but GenG was not like kind of that arc, so and it kind of inspired me a lot. Because imagine before I mean joined GenG was like they were the Korean team.
Mhm.
I felt like that, but when I joined, and that was not.
Oh, so you are you saying that they were more of like they felt like more of like a friend group than like a
Yeah,
hierarchical?
exactly,
I see.
exactly.
I see. Interesting. Do you think that that is one of the things that made them a really good team?
Of course, I mean the relationship between like coaches and players in GenG was like I mean, insane level. I mean, we're so friendly with each other, and it really helped me a lot as to adapt as a team or like whatever, like as a play.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Interesting. So less formal, you would say, more sort of like at like a like casual relationship level with these guys.
Yeah, it's casual relationship level, but if you're in the work time, I mean, if you need to, like if you work each other, and you know, we do as professional.
Mhm.
Mm.
Interesting. Okay, so we don't have to get too much into like the end of the GenG part.
Okay.
But I mean, you guys were decent, right? When you were there, I feel like your results weren't that bad. So did they sort of like give you any reasoning as to why they decided to drop you? Like why did it end? If you don't mind me asking.
To be honest, like I don't know exactly.
You don't
Still,
know.
yeah,
Okay.
I didn't even like ask them because I felt like that would be, you know, I mean, I thought that was disrespectful. I just I
Sure.
respected the thoughts, and whatever, like that's their decision, and that they're my coaches or whatever. So
Okay.
okay,
Gotcha. So then in so you're on the that was after kickoff, is that right?
yeah, after kickoff,
Okay, so you're sitting on the sidelines for stage one. What are you doing with your time at this point?
I play a tons of rank. I play a tons of rank.
Okay,
Yeah.
just to try and get your level up, basically.
Yeah, especially at the mechanic.
Mhm. Is there anything in particular that you're like focusing on? Obviously mechanics, but like how are you getting better? What's your process?
Mm, I try to like watch the other like the mechanic player like primmie,
Mhm.
Angela, like or like some I every like the mechanical players at the world and try to adapt my place and no just watching boss like
Okay.
coach.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So this is kind of an interesting question before we get into the next step of your career. I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like you've always been interested in like other regions. Do you think that's kind of unique for you? Do you feel like a lot of Korean players watch other regions, or do you think that you're kind of like unique in the fact that you're watching like kayak and you're watching like tier two Americas players and you're watching like because I thought that was always interesting to me. You seem to have like when we first had a conversation, you had watched like Ascend play, and you knew about like how Ascend used like Sage and like all these like, and I was like,
I mean
how does this like random Korean dude know all this stuff from like 2021 in Europe?
and then Sun is like some. I mean that's exception. Okay, that's
Sure,
exception.
sure.
Okay. But whatever, like I don't know. My YouTube algorithm is always like that. I mean, like just random, like Kanger. Okay, Kanger is not the random. He's so good at tier two at the
I mean,
Americas.
back in 2025, he was kind of a random, but yeah.
But whatever, like X or what, whoever. Like, I mean, my algorithm is like that, so I just watch it, and
Okay.
yes, that happens.
Okay. So you're studying up, you're practicing, you're trying to stay current, and then this guy gives you a little call on Discord and says, "Hey, do you want to come to Global Esports?" What was that like? What was it like coming to work for me?
I mean, I didn't know about you though before I joined Global Esports. I mean, the whole team. I just didn't know. Just was my former like teammates, and
Hmm.
everyone was new. Like so, for me, it was like I really wanted to work with like the other. I mean, at the other people from the other region, like
Hmm.
especially Americas for something. And so I felt like, oh, that would be a good challenge and good chance for me to improve myself and you know good to
Okay.
join. Yeah.
So you joined Global Esports. What was your initial impression of the team? How do you think we were gonna do?
Mm, okay.
You can be honest with me, Masters winner. You're allowed to be super honest with me.
Okay, Donnie. Like when we played Ethos the
Mhm.
qualifiers, I thought we were gonna we can I mean we can go like higher than we expected. But even though like when we beat RQ and like I felt like, oh, we're doing good, or like our process was not that wrong and we can just achieve to higher place. So but after that something happened and unlucky.
Unlucky. Yeah.
Unlucky.
We had a bunch of problems. It is what it is. But Okay, we had some good moments though as well, right? Like we beat RQ. We had chances to beat a lot of the teams that we played. Do you think that there was any team that we played that was like really particularly hard? So we played RQ, then we played Secret, then we played GenG, Nongshim, and DRX was our last game. Do you remember any of those specifically as being like super difficult?
Nongshim.
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 Yeah, I mean, I remember that game. I feel like our energy as a team was not that great, but also I feel like Nongshim was playing like a different game. Like, because we'd scrim them a lot in stage 1, and I think we even scrimmed them a decent amount, like leading up to EWC. I can't remember exactly, but we'd play them a bunch. And when we played them on stage that day, I was like, we're gonna lose this game, and there's nothing we can do about it.
I mean, you know, like you can remember the feelings. Like it was so tough to, you know, play against.
It was so hard.
Yeah,
it was so hard. Okay, so the season ends. We get knocked out. Stage 2, no playoffs. Unfortunate. We go into off season. What was your off season like? I know that you and I have talked about this a little bit before, but like, what was your off season like? What were you kind of like hoping to do in 2026? Like, what were you thinking about after the 2025 season?
after like we, you know, when we finish after like, I just felt like some, you know, exhausted and you know some like frustration, a huge frustration for myself, or like. But you know, and it happens. So like, I try to focus on something like I can. I mean, I can. So like, I try. You know, I do some watch parties at the soup. I mean, like some platform in Korea. Okay,
Soup League, yeah.
Yeah, soup league and watch parties. I mean, solo rank and yeah, something like that. And also
Not
like
much
try to
changes for
make some.
you, right? Just
Yeah,
continuing to try and get better.
but one hobby I have.
Yeah.
Maybe story playing Yudo with Yudo. Yeah. I mean, I need something to focus on at that time, so you know, but not Valorant, something,
For
you know.
sure,
So
for sure.
yeah,
So you
started
went from playing PUBG to MapleStory. Okay, understood.
playing. Okay.
Okay, so in the 2025-2026 off season, were you considering looking at China again? Did you want to stay in Korea? Like what were you trying to get as far as teams go?
Mm, I didn't even consider about duration. It's okay for me to play at EMEA, America, China, Korea. I didn't care. Like,
Mm,
but just for the thing was like, is that I just consider about like some, you know, is that a good chance for me or whatever.
mm.
But for sure, I wanted to make my mechanic much more like harder to, you know, to adapt to like some, you know, the greatest players. I mean, like someone would say like that's bullshit, but I do really like watch tons of it, like aspas belts, like primmie belts, like you know the aim monsters, some you know in the worst. I
You,
really tried hard.
you're a coach's worst nightmare, Yoman, because you as a player are so
Mm.
smart about the game, but all you care about is mechanics. So you
Okay.
could have so much impact with your brain, but you love mechanics. But I get it. I respect it.
Mm.
Okay, so once you are unable to find a team for 2026, at what point were you like, okay, I probably am not going to get on VCT? Did you look at VCL teams? Did you look at like tier 2 Korea and stuff like that as well?
Of course, like,
Yeah,
but
and you couldn't find a team there as well.
mm, like I mean, some options that they offer me was like, well, like I'll do some other stuff too for
Mm,
myself, something like that. So
gotcha.
yeah, I didn't get
Okay,
it. So.
so how did the Nongshim situation happen? Like, did they approach you, or yeah, like how did you end up coaching on Nongshim instead of playing?
Okay, my propose, I mean, at when after we finished global esports was like, okay, try to find out what has been changed in Valorant. Like
Hmm.
there was a tons of change in 2000, between the 2025 and 2026, right? Like
Like the
the
patches.
yes, there was a tons of patches. Like Sentinels get like fucked up, and initiators also like their cooldown was like a 20-second increase. Like was that's huge, like
Yeah.
for me. So for me, like first thing I want to find out what will gonna get changed. So I want to just watch that
Hmm.
perspective. Yeah, whatever. Like I just wanted to like just watch tons of VCT files to what's gonna get what is gonna be different, and what's gonna get just follow the metas, and just feel it. And also like to play a much more ranks and death measures to improve, my mechanics or something. I mean that those two things was my biggest purpose at the off season, but Nongshim offered me. I mean they approached me. So
Okay.
and I felt like maybe if I join Nongshim, and I can do this to propose my personal. Yeah. So maybe this job will like, be not that bad. So yeah, so I take it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've known this about you since we first met on the team, that you're like a student of games. Like you like understanding how games work. You like all the like moving pieces of the games. So you found that you could maybe accomplish understanding the game at a high level through coaching. It didn't just have to be through playing. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Mm, like not that exactly. I mean, joining Nongshim. I mean, the role is not that important. As a coach, as a player, as a manager, whatever. Like,
Hmm.
just like feeling the players how they play the games, how they approach the game, what's their attitude. Like, just watching, and just being a teammate. Then I thought that will be like really helpful for myself
Hmm.
to be their teammates. So that's the only thing, like just why I joined Nongshim, and
Okay.
mm,
Cool. So what exactly is your role with Nongshim, right? Because they have Silkonon, who's the head coach, and then Sungmin is an assistant coach, and then you're a second assistant coach, or like what is your role in the team? Like what is sort of like your day-to-day job with the team?
roles. Mm, to be honest, like our roles, I mean, that we kind of official for ourselves was it's not that clean, but
Hmm.
whatever. Like we always try to I mean, we let our head coach the Conan, to select some great, I mean, options, and
Hmm.
we try to me and Songmin always trying to help him to get the rightest decision at the moment. So mm, that will be like as that might be like kind of my role as an assistant coach, like
Hmm.
the second assistant coach. And the other thing might be some mental coach to players that who get frustrations, like or like
Hmm.
not adapting well at the meta, or like something like that. So I try to help the players to be I mean make them perform well at the I mean at the match, or like at the scrims, whatever. Yeah,
Hmm.
just follow up them like they I mean day in and day and day every day, like just watch my players, like how their face is moving, like if like do they feel good or bad, something like that. If I think like if they feel bad, or like they got so frustrated or something, I just we have a conversation
Hmm.
and try to make them perform better, and that's the role. Something like that. It's kind of hard to describe. I mean, it's even hard to describe as a Korean, but if I need to talk these things to English, oh my god, I'm sweating a lot right now. It's so hot on me.
um, no, I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense. It seems like that is a really good role for you as somebody who's been in IGL before, because like you're kind of as an IGL, you have to keep track of like how your team is emotionally and that type of thing as well, right? So you kind of have a unique insight into that. Um, okay, so Talk to me a little bit about coming into the season, like coming into kickoff. Like how did you guys feel as a team before kickoff? Did you guys know that you were going to be insanely good, or were you kind of like, we have this idea, this is how we think we should play the game, but we don't really know? Like, yeah.
Uh, we Me and Songmin have a tons of conversation. I mean, because we are roommates,
Okay.
we live together. Means and the thing that we talk about was like me and Songmin was like, what do you think? How do you think like how much grade we're gonna achieve at this kickoff? And was me and Songmin was like, not the first, both, but we do. I mean, me and Songmin all thought like maybe we have competent things to reach to Santiago Masters. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's the thing. So we all knew we are gonna do good, but n- we didn't. Expect we're gonna be the first at the time. Yeah.
Is that because scrims were going well, or practice was going well, or you just believe in the players, or why did you feel so confident going in?
Mm, players. There's nothing like wrong to. Our work was like to make our practice clean and to make the players to reach to the meta or whatever. But they all already did it, and the thing that we need to, careful about was like some frustration for ourselves, like
Mm.
blaming or something like that. But that was the only thing we need to be take care. So
Mhm.
if we don't do that, like okay, maybe we're gonna get good, and we didn't, and yeah, that happened.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that probably helped this team a lot is that you guys had to like fight all the way through Ascension again. And like, so they've been playing together a lot and they've been through a lot of
Yeah.
stuff, right? Were you there for Ascension at all, or did you come
No,
in
I did. I
afterwards?
was not.
Okay. Um, yeah, but I feel like because they've played so many games in high pressure situations, they were already like a pretty well oiled machine, I would say to some extent.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I feel that
yeah,
also.
yeah. Um, Last year in 2025, Dambi played quite a bit of other stuff other than Neon, and this year he's basically just playing Neon. Was that like a really conscious decision from the team, or it just became like a comfortable thing? Like you guys just kind of like tried out some comps and like this made the most sense, or was it like we're just putting him on Neon because he's the best Neon in the world, and that's what it's going to be?
Mm, we try a lot. Dambi is, he's so good at duelist. He's not even only good at Neon. He's
Hmm.
also good at raids, and he's also playing good at Waylay or whatever.
Hmm.
Like, so we tried a lot. Our comp was like kind of, not that, straight through Neon.
Hmm.
Whole map Neon. At the beginning, we were not like that. Okay.
Hmm.
But we played lots of scrims, and, like, even though like he was performing well at the other agents, but we felt like, yo, Dambi, can you play Neon at this map or this map, something like that? So we just tried, and and the results told us do that. So
Yeah,
that happens. Yeah.
yeah. It must be pretty fun watching him play scrims.
It's not. It's sometimes it's just disgusting. He's killing everyone. So like, there's nothing to see. Like as a coach, like we need to find out what we're gonna get fucked up. So we try to focus at the sessions. But if he's killing everyone, like what's my work? So like,
Right. Yeah.
that.
Sometimes it's hard to do VOD review when there's just chaos happening all the time.
But
um,
whatever, it's fun.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Was there like a moment where, because obviously when you're playing, it's very easy to feel like you're having impact on the game because like you're in the game making decisions. But as a coach, you're kind of a step removed from that. So was there a moment where like you kind of had a realization like, oh, I can actually still like impact the game as a coach in like a big way by helping my player do something or like finding a setup or anteing an opponent or something like that?
Yeah, like Donnie. When we were in G, there was one more like take the momentum and don't let them take this momentum, right? You
Mm.
remember, you remembered it, and that's the thing. Anti-egos.
Anti-ecos.
Anti-ecos every time.
So
I mean,
so you stole my shit and you brought it to Nongshim for anti-ecos and it
I mean, there's also like kind of my shit in
no, I'm just kidding.
anti-ecos, but
No,
whatever.
it's definitely you. So you're saying that your anti-eco stuff was really helpful for Nongshim?
I feel like I really feel like so. I mean, like my major job maybe was trying to make some anti-strats at the, when I mean to keep our momentum, because our we are like kind of one of the chaotic team, right?
Mhm.
So the point, asking coach in the chaotic team, we need to. We all knew like our eco round winner rate will be like 40%, maybe something like that. We're so good at eco rounds to abuse our
Yeah.
Dambi shotguns or like Francis Bandit or something like that, and or like Ivy Sheriff, whatever.
Yeah.
We're so good at it. You can watch Xross. I mean, Xross is like Marshall thing. I mean, but we didn't show Xross didn't show it, but whatever. Like we're good at taking momentums, but we are also in chaotic teams. So I do really don't want them, to let the enemy team to take our momentum. So I just focus on those things. So
Right.
yeah.
Do you know what your anti-eco win rate was at
In Santiago
Santiago?
or like in
Yeah,
Kickoff?
at Santiago.
I don't.
You won 22 out of 25 anti-ecos.
22 out of 25. We lose 3, right?
You lost 3. Yeah. Which
Is
is
that high?
it's insanely high. It's really
Okay.
high. Especially in the current meta where it feels like people are just getting thriftied all the time. You guys were like a huge outlier. Like the consistency that you were winning these anti-ecos was like a massive deal. So,
But for sure, like players were so good. I mean, they adapted so well.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that you guys do very well is like obviously Francis abuses like being a Yoru with a scope on ecos a lot. And then you've got Dambi buying the judge when it's necessary to shut down like a rush. Like you guys do a very good job of using the weapons at the right time and playing together to not get like caught out and have people get picked off. I think it's super good. So nice job, Yeoman. Like I like you legitimately did like a really good job on that.
Thank you for the reference, Donnie.
Okay, let's talk about Santiago itself. So you guys qualify. You fly to Chile. First time in South America, I assume for
Yeah.
everybody.
First
Yeah.
time. I mean, for sure. I don't know exactly, but it will be for the first time.
Okay. What was your favorite thing to eat in Chile?
In
You guys eat
Chile,
some Chilean food?
yo, Donnie. To be honest, like I do really wanted to try a lot of Chile food, but like we always eat something like some Korean food, like some room service, and that's the one of the failure in when we are in Chile.
Okay, so you'll just have to go back at some point for vacation then.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I just drink a tons of orange juice in Chile. That's all I did.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
Fruit in South America is nice, I bet.
that was awesome.
Okay, so you guys are the first seed, which means that you don't have to play initially. Do you get there at the same time as the other teams? Did you come in a little bit later? Or are you just kind of like chilling in the hotel watching teams play? What's it actually like being at Masters?
Mm, we arrived at Chile. I mean, every team arrived at Chile at the different times. So, but like kind of like just only one or 2 days like difference. So everyone arrived at Chile at this like some same time, and after that, as a first day, we watch all of the balls that they're running, something like, and that's kind of nice time to be as a coach, like to watch the other team balls at when the team who we have to competitive compete, and that's really cool. I mean, big advantage, right? So we
Yeah.
watched it all.
Okay. You're just taking notes and seeing if you can find gaps in how they're playing and stuff like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. And then your first match is Gentlemates, right? Did you guys because you guys got to pick your opponent. So what was your discussion like? there was like G2, Gentlemates, Paper X, and
Energy.
Energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys picked Gentlemates. I mean, it makes sense. Um, did you guys have to like talk about it a lot? Did anybody want to pick somebody else, or was it just kind of like let's just play Gentlemates?
We all did. Like we talk about a lot. Which team will be the best team that we can select
Mhm.
when we get the when we can take the first sit, and our coaches. I mean, not me. I mean, Sungmin and Silkanon, and they kind of talk about tons of things, a lot of like kind of this thing, like map best, or like how to take the what the best option at the like specific situations, and you know their decision was like gentlemen, and I heard why, and they explained to me why, and I felt like, oh, that's reasonable. Let's take it, and it happened.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Okay, so you beat them, and then you get to chill a little bit. You get a couple days off, right, or a day
Yeah,
off, something like that. Um, and then, God, I'm trying to remember the bracket. Your second
G2.
match was against G2. Now G2 is a pretty interesting team. I remember scrimming them last year, and they felt insanely good. Um, how did it feel to play against G2 at this event?
Mm, in the team, inside the team, like everyone, like except for me, everyone played with G2 in scrims. Like I
Mhm.
didn't ever, but like the other players and coaches all has some experience to play against G2.
Mm,
So
mhm.
for me, it was like first time to play against them, and I felt like so some felt was like some exciting things. Like we all knew G2 is one of the best team in America, so like I was kind of excited, but also like we tried to prepare a lot, and one of the things, like the thing that we kind of thought hard is like I think they're not gonna handle Stami's Neon like in like comparing to Pacific, because
Yeah,
that's kind of rare shit,
yeah,
Stami's Neon, yeah, it's so rare to play against them. So we felt like maybe they cannot handle this, and yeah, maybe that's right. That was right.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I guess going into the tournament, was there any team that you were looking at as like this is going to be the hardest team to play against? Just
G2 was G2.
it was G2. Okay,
Yeah, it was
interesting.
G2 or Paper X, but
Mhm.
mm, it happened.
Okay. So you beat G2 and then you play against Energy in the upper final. Um what was like the prep for that, and how was playing Energy?
Playing versus an energy. The preparation. I mean, I cannot tell this thing like detailedly. I mean,
Yeah,
so I'm
obviously
sorry
you don't have
about
to
it.
give away like, oh,
Okay.
they're bad at
Uh,
this or whatever.
so
Yeah.
whatever, whatever. Like, the other things. mm, what can I say? Playing against energy was like mm, we felt like something strange before playing against energy, because at in our region, I mean in Pacific, it's really rare to play against double initiator tops,
Yep. Yep.
for sure. Like it's so rare. So like for us, it was like playing against double initiators, and the former champions winners was like some. But we also felt something strange, because we all felt like double initiators. Are you sure about it? But they're also the champions winner at 2025. So
Mhm.
we all felt like maybe it's not gonna work against us. Something, yeah,
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they gave you like a pretty good game, I feel like. But, double duelist is the way, I guess, or at least if you have Dumby and Francis on your team.
Okay. And
Um
Francis did so well at that playing
Yeah, he
against
did. He
energy.
did super well. I feel like he was having like kind of a rough start to the year. I feel like his kickoff was like kind of okay, and like his first game maybe was like not so good at Santiago, but then he really kind of stepped it up. Um, did Was there anything that you guys did to like help him perform better, or did he just kind of like? I know that he had like a wrist injury as well, maybe or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, as a coach, like I think like I cannot say this more thing about like about Francis because it's kind of private things. But
Sure.
just for sure, like he kind of you know handle it so well. I mean, for himself, as mentally or physically. I mean, for physical, mechanically, whatever. Like he tried to, win this situation, and he finally did, and I'm kind of so proud of him.
Yeah, he persevered through some rough performances for sure. Okay, so you end up going to the grand finals, and you get matched up against Paper X. How did you feel about that matchup? Did you want the matchup against Energy, like the rematch, or when you see you're playing against Paper X, how do you feel about that?
Like you know that like, and there's the story. I mean, between Nongshim and Paper X. Do you know about it, Donnie?
I don't think so. What's the story?
I mean, it's not a story, but it's kind of team colors about it. Like Paper
Mm,
X are in Nongshim are like one of the the double gamers, right?
mm-hmm.
And for sure, like a lot of Korean fans really wanted to watch Paper X versus Nongshim. Okay, and but it didn't happen in 2025. Even a
Right,
single match
right.
never happened. But so like, and we also did it. Like we, yeah, like Nongshim and Paper X play a lot of screens, but in the match we didn't ever. So we do really wanted to play against them, but we didn't expect that that's gonna be the I mean, at the grand finals in Masters. So
Sure.
that's a kind of weird thing, but we also we are all confident in ourselves. So
You're confident.
we can do it. Yeah.
Okay. So you go into map number one. I guess how much of an advantage do you think the double map ban was, like as a coach?
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. I mean, so huge. I mean, that's that's so huge, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys go into Corrode. You win the pistol. You get thriftied. Oh wait, no, sorry. They win the pistol. You thrifty them, and then they
And
thrifty
get
you back.
yeah. I mean,
So
that was accident, Donnie. Like Davai shoot some crazy stuff shots for sheriff, and I mean 3K, and how can you get rage about it? I mean, that's kind of
okay.
accident.
I mean that's a good attitude, I guess.
Okay.
I would look at it as 3 1v1s against Devi with a sheriff, but that's just me.
Okay, I know what you're talking about, but can you get some much more off angle to play against him? Don't get shooted by some some like expected position or something like that. But yeah, I know, but no,
It
that
is
I
what it
should
is. Yeah, true. Okay, so you guys end up having a really good second half, and you win that map. What kind of conversations are you having in between maps? You're going to map number 2, you're going to Breeze. How are you preparing the team for map number 2?
split. Uh,
Oh wait,
I mean some
wait.
strat. Yeah, split. It was split. Korea split, and Abyss. We banned Breeze.
Oh my god, I'm brain dead. Yes, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
right.
you know, I mean, Donnie, I can you remember that if you just scroll up our DMs in Discord, maybe Discord, yeah, you kind of give me some brief things about Paper X,
Oh, that's
Donnie?
true. That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I kind of answered that, Donnie, to what I said to you. Oh, thank you, Donnie, but and I did this, I got nothing.
You were trying to leak. You were trying to leak.
So like,
You're
okay,
right.
Tony. Okay, okay. Thanks for this, but we're not gonna play this. So I got time like this. So,
You're right. You're
so
right.
yeah,
Okay.
split.
So yeah. Split and Abyss. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm old. I've forgotten already. You're going into Split. Paper X is having a very, very good run on Split. So what's your preparation for Split? Obviously, you don't have to give me specifics, but like, how are you preparing the team for map number 2 after a close map 1?
Some strategies like some to make our players sure to take the map much more easier when we have the momentum. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
So
think
it's
that
all
every
it's all
coach is.
about momentum against Paper X, huh?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they're so good at. They are also so good at taking momentum back. I mean, for them. So, I mean, for this entire Valorant history, they did
Yep.
so well about this. So, don't let
Yeah,
them take this. What's something like, and also some strategies.
for sure. Okay. At what point did you know you were going to win the grand finals? Was there like a moment in one of the maps, whether it was map 2, map 3, where you were like, I think we're gonna do this?
In Abyss, the fourth round, you know?
Fourth round? Okay.
Yeah, we won pistol. We
Yep.
lose the bonus round, and you know the fourth round became, and we retake Abyss B, and our 4 players are alive at the time, and maybe 3, whatever,
Mhm.
and it was kind of the easiest to retake at that, I mean, in Abyss. So at the time, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Cool. And how did that feel? Because like, S- Sungmin and Silkonon are in the booth, and you're just like in the ready room, right? You're just like watching on the TV with like the staff, I assume.
Yeah.
So, what was that like, having to just kind of like sit there and just like watch this happen, and then know that you're probably gonna win? Like, talk me through sort of like the winning moments there.
I do hate. I mean, I do hate making jinx, and you know, I have a note for myself for as a coaching note.
Hmm.
And if I feel like at the past, and when I play Pacific, you know, playing versus RQ, you know, like at the fifth map in Breeze, we are like 11-1 lead
Hmm.
playing versus RQ in Breeze. And at that time, I just, you know, closed my note.
Hmm.
And we got 6 rounds in a row. So and then I just put my I just opened my note bag, and after they win the round. So after like when we take the, you know, fourth round at this paper X, I didn't try to make some changes to, you know, closing my note bag, just like something like that.
So
So
you have a death note, is that what you're saying?
yeah, I need to just put that open
Gotcha.
before the match ends.
Gotcha. Okay, so you've just won Masters. What I mean, it's so cool. Like, what's going through your head? Like, you started the season trying to be a player. Now you're a coach. You just won Masters. What are you thinking about?
Mm, like some feelings or thinkings after winning masters, like, oh, maybe our process and the things that what we were doing, like some tough things, or what, you know, some frustrations for ourselves was, you know, was like not a bad things. I mean, what, how can I say this? There's nothing special, to be honest, like to win some masters as a coach for me. But
Okay.
the one thing that which I did was like, oh, the process that which I like kind of suggest, or like some we kind of work with each other when, I mean, preparing to the kickoff and masters was, you know, that was like kind of not that wrong. I mean, that might be some, you know, right way to, you know, approach to the champions. So confidence maybe that I can get some, or like that we can get
Some
as a team.
validation of your ideas, basically.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Yeah. Very cool. Um, what's what's sort of your overall coaching philosophy these days? Like, how do you think? What do you think the role of a coach is? Like, what from
Role
your
of a
perspective?
coach.
Yeah.
Mm, helper, helper,
Mhm.
yeah, something like
Just
to
whatever's the most helpful.
coaching. I mean, I kind of, you know, some discuss myself a lot about this questions,
Mhm.
because, you know, it was my first, you know, challenge as a coach. So I didn't want to make my team. I mean, I didn't want to troll. Okay, before I joined the team, because, you know, I'm a first coach, right?
Yeah.
So I discuss a lot um, for myself, and one thing that kind of thing was like, I'm not there to teach the players.
Hmm.
Mm, so I'm there to coach my players. So that's the, you know, different thing maybe.
Okay. Yeah, let's get into that a little bit. Like, what do you think the difference is? Like, are you saying that teaching is more so you're kind of like telling them how to do things, and coaching is different?
I mean, teaching is, I felt, I mean, in my in my perspective, like
Mhm.
when you like feel like, or like if you say a word like teaching, I mean, it feels like there's some answers, you know?
Mm,
I mean, we have an answer, and this is my, suggestion or solution that you can, reach to the answer, something like that, right?
mhm.
Teaching feels for me in my perspective, okay? But coaching is like something like this. I think that's the answer, player. Okay.
Mm.
And I think that's your answer, and I have a solution or like some options that we can reach to that answer, and I just suggest to the player or like to my coach, to the other coaches, and discuss about this because we are all professional and something like these things.
So
Did I?
would you say
Yeah.
that like would you say that like if you're teaching somebody, it's more so like you're just giving them the answer, and as a coach, you're kind of like helping them find the answer themselves?
I mean, helping them also, and like trying to get to the together, something like that,
Mhm. Mhm.
because we
It's
all
more
professional.
collaborative, yeah.
Yeah, something like collaborative, exactly, something like that.
Okay.
Mhm.
That makes sense. Um, cool. Like when you're out there on stage, and like you're doing the huddle, who's doing the most talking as the coaches, or is it like RB, or like who's talking the most in those huddles?
Sungmin, and maybe Sungmin is talking a lot.
Hmm.
Like, mm, he's a good coach. I mean, I have lots of things to get to follow him. So I mean, he's so good to play. I mean, work together, and as a coach, whatever. Even though
Okay.
he's like kind of so young.
Yeah, he's much younger than you. You're the
Yeah, I mean,
you're
he's
the you're
so
the
young.
old man.
Yeah, I'm older than my head coach. What the hell?
Yeah, they call you Aboji or what?
No, no, no. It's
No, no.
him, it's brother. No,
Okay,
no, what
okay,
we're talking about.
okay. um, awesome. What's like the biggest thing that you've learned switching to being a coach? Would you say
The thing, uh,
has there been
learns.
any like major lessons of learning from being a coach?
Oh, like I mean, at being a coach, I cannot answer this like kind of clearly, but the thing in which I learned after change my role to coach and joining Nongshim,
Hmm.
and the most thing that I felt and I kind of learned is like kind of how should you the attitude that how you need to approach when you play the game in the stage to the
Mm.
players. I especially like IB and Xross is giving me a tons of like things. They're showing me something, and I feel like if I did that when I was a player, is it gonna change? I mean, was the results gonna be something different? Something like that. I mean, it inspires me a lot.
Oh, like how
There,
they prepare for the matches and like how they carry themselves
uh,
on stage.
yeah, how they prepare also, and the attitude when they're playing at the stage is like awesome. I mean, it's
Hmm.
so like something inspired me.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah,
I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I do have a couple more questions, if that's okay.
we have time.
Um, so I'm kind of curious about Xross because he's the youngest player in the team, right? And he was a duelist player last year. So
Yeah.
how has it been watching him transition to becoming like a recon player? And you, as a former recon player, did you help him kind of like learn the role a bit, or like what's that been like working with him?
I really tried hard to him to to adapt to the recon, and maybe I tried hard, but I didn't give that much like suggestions or like,
Hmm.
but I just give a few things, and he just take it and become the greatest. And that's that's so kind of weird. I mean, some experience for me, like, because I just give them like one or two, and they just adapt it and become something, a monster. And
Right.
is that for me, or like, especially, 100%. He's talented, so he kind of changed a lot, but whatever. Like, it feels something weird. So yeah,
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
Totally. I mean, he's a beast, man. He's really really good.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's him.
Um, do you have a favorite player? No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to pick a favorite.
Mhm.
Who's the funniest player on your team? Would you say?
Funnest player?
Yeah,
I mean, everyone will choose Dambi. I mean, I
it's
kind of
Dambi.
yeah, it's so funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, what's RB like as an IGL? Because
As an
he
IGL.
was not initially an IGL, right? He was like on Vision Strikers. He was the duelist. Then he was like the Sentinel. He was a flex player. He went to China. Now he's IGLing this team of super young kids. What's he like as a leader of the team?
RB. He RB. How can I describe him? He fits really well at the role.
Mhm.
Also, he also struggled a lot before I came, or if you watch Nongshim documentary, you'll see like something how is like how much he's struggling as an IGO, like
Mhm.
yeah, having hard time playing Ascension, something like that. But whatever, if after like I came to the Nongshim and I just watched RB being as an IGO, and he is a really good IGO. I think like his like some ideas or like options that he kind of called in during the games, or even like preparing the games is like, I mean, it's a kind of huge. There are a huge amount of things, and it kind of works really well. So
Mhm.
I think he's doing a good job.
Awesome. And I have to ask, like, you guys are known for being insanely aggressive and like super fast and chaotic. Are the comms crazy as well, or are the comms like calm and like yeah? Because like
I mean,
watching you
no,
guys play, it looks like everybody's just yelling all the time. But
Donnie, just subscribe Nongshim RedForce YouTube channel, and you'll see a tons of voice comms
okay,
right?
fair
Okay,
enough.
but I'll say like I think like we are calm enough. I mean, we are the calmest player, I think.
Hmm.
Do you remember like the Fnatic comes in when we played in G Global Esports? Do you remember the
Yeah,
keywords? Every time
Fanaticoms.
Derek is talking about, oh, we're doing Fnatic or something like that.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
like that.
yeah. For anybody who doesn't understand, Fanaticoms was us joking about the fact that we're not commie like Fnatic at all.
so random shit in the audio cues. Right? We're saying
for,
what we want to say.
for
That's
sure, for sure.
yeah.
Um, okay, I've got two more questions for you then.
Yeah, okay.
Do you still want to be a player, or are you satisfied being a coach at this point?
Mm, my answer is so clean. I still want to be as a player.
Mhm.
Mhm,
Awesome. Um, but if you, I mean, obviously you're going to stay coaching Nongshim this year.
mhm.
Um, if you do end up having to just be a coach full time, would you be happy with that?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
If let's just say, let's say you guys win two more events, you win both Masters and Champions. At that point, don't you think that you should just stay as a coach because you're doing something good?
Hey, Don.
Would you be satisfied being a
after
coach?
after when we win 2 events, let's talk about this. Okay.
Okay, okay,
After
okay.
I'll be in the interview even though at the
O-
time. Okay.
Okay, we'll do another interview after you win a couple more events.
Okay.
And final question is, do you have any advice for players that want to make it? Because I feel like your journey has been pretty inspirational as far as like how much work you've had to do and how many times you've kind of like gotten knocked down and then kept moving. Yeah, do you have any advice for players or coaches who are trying to make it in the esports industry?
Uh, the one thing that when I came back to Nongshim, and the thing that which I kind of felt hard for myself was like, uh, try to be together with some peoples who really trust you.
Hmm.
I think that's one of the most thing. To get some trust to other people is also tough enough, But if you make any trust to other players or people, and if they are also talented enough as in your perspective, don't leave them. Be with them.
Mm.
Yeah.
So put your trust in other people and hopefully find people that will trust you back, basically.
Yeah, something like that. And getting trust to other people's is kind of so, I mean, nice and good. I mean, the greatest experience that you can have, I think.
Absolutely. Okay, one bonus question. Why am I the
Yeah.
best coach that you've ever had?
Donnie?